let's get into some fake trades. So the way I did this, I went from the top of the standings down. And I started making trades with the best, thinking of the best teams first, because I feel like they deserve it, and working my way down. And every time a team made it, like the first trade I have is the Suns make a trade with the Spurs. So I check the Spurs off the list, and that way every team in the NBA is represented in one of these trades, one way or another. And I think I have two teams represented twice. I think the Knicks are one of them, because I couldn't help myself. And then the Spurs actually are represented twice as well.
I'm just going to little Mike Greenberg tease here for the listeners. I have the list in front of me. And so I this is the direction I'm going with this, John. There is one on here. Buckle up. I'm wrapping my mind around it and what it would mean and what a certain team's roster would look like. And I'm not even saying I disagree with it. I'm just fascinated by the fact that this is the one you came up with.
There's literally every team I came across, maybe not every team, almost every team I came across. I'm assuming you're talking about a trade involving the Knicks.
Yes. Okay.
There were some batshit crazy things where I'm like, where I asked myself who says no, and I didn't know the answer. These are the ones I went with. So
okay.
Let's start at the top. Phoenix Suns. Shout out to anyone who was high on Phoenix this year and was like, they're going to be good. You deserve all the credit in the world. Because excellent job. So Phoenix is in an interesting position where they could win the championship this year. They don't really need anything. They do have salary sitting on their roster in the form of Dario Saric, who's making $8.5 million. Is not playing basketball right now because he tore his ACL in the finals last year. And they also have an interesting-ish young prospect in Jalen Smith, who was only in his second year, did not have his third-year team option picked up. So he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Not saying the Suns can't sign him, but maybe want to get something for him. So I have those two and a second-round pick, which may be a little bit too much, but we'll see, going to San Antonio for Thad Young. The interesting thing about Thad Young is, like, last year, you could argue he was the Bulls' second best player. Went to San Antonio in the DeRozan trade. Hasn't really played because they've been leaning into the young guys. Shout out to them for being able to do that as an organization.
What's that like?
What's that like? Talk about an interesting crossroads. What if the Knicks did X, Y, Z? Well, a conversation for another day. So that's the trade that I have. Does Thad Young make a material difference for the Suns? I don't know. If it's the version of Thad Young last year, yeah, maybe that dude makes a difference in a playoff series. He could.
So he would go there and be their backup center behind Ayton?
Well, that's the thing is, like, so they have JaVale McGee, who's been playing wonderfully for them as their backup center.
Hasn't Bismack Biyombo gotten minutes for them lately, and it's been like productive minutes as well.
But that's a testament to them and their culture that they could pick up a Bismack Biyombo off the street and put him in there, and it works, But like playoff time, like, you're not playing Bismack Biyombo. I think, again, Thad Young is a super versatile. Like, that dude will play 20 minutes in a playoff series, any game. So I like it. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's given up too much. The only reason I think Thad could be had for so little is I forget who wrote the column for ESPN Plus the other day, saying that, like, if he's not traded, maybe they just buy him out. Like, if he's a buyout candidate, then they shouldn't have to give up too much for him. So
you hope. Yeah. I wonder if the Suns are interested in, although it seems like these are expendable assets and they don't have to give up a pick. You're saying they give up a second too.
Give up a future second round pick. Like, again, is Jalen Smith playing minutes in a playoff series? No. So,
this is an upgrade. No, I agree. This is an upgrade.
I think it's a nice fit. And, like, again, they could use maybe one more, like, big. I mean, Thad Young's more of a big than a big wing, but, like, he toggles. Okay, let's get a little crazier. Going down to the Warriors. I'm curious what you think about this. So I mean, for
my Warriors, yeah,
your Golden State Warriors, three-time champion,
5-time Western Conference champion.
There you go. What's their slogan? We believe, not we
believe.
Hear.
Yes. Well, light years ahead, but the original slogan was the "We believe." Yes.
Fucking stupid slogan. So I'm just
really? Wait, we hear or because we hear is so much better than we believe?
No, I love we believe. I'm saying light years ahead is stupid. Yeah.
Yes. Shout out Light Years Podcast, Blue Wire Podcast Network.
Yes. Shout out to them. Yeah. So again, both teams, there's a chance both teams absolutely say no to this, but here's what it is. Wiseman and Kuminga, so both of the kids that they took on the top of the last two drafts, and a 2028 first round pick. So here's the thing about the Warriors. They have picks out until 2026. Mm-hmm. So they could trade this year's pick, but this year's pick doesn't have any value because it's going to be whatever, the 27th, 28th pick in the draft. The next pick they could trade after this year is 2028. So that's why I have it as a 2028 first. Going to Indiana for Sabonis. And to me, I don't think the Warriors are winning the championship as currently constituted. I think if they get Sabonis, they can. And I think Sabonis, the other nice thing about Sabonis, he's on the books for 2 more years after this one at not a lot of money, under $20 million a year. So it's like to me, and again, I like maybe the Warriors secretly think Wiseman is like, you know, a young Dwight Howard waiting to happen, and we just haven't seen it. Maybe they think Kuminga's like the second coming of, Kevin Durant. I mean, I have no idea. But I don't know. Is this enough if you're Indiana? I think I would do this deal if I'm Indiana.
I would do this if I'm Indiana. Man, I mean, it all depends what the Warriors think about the roster they have. I don't know if they expected to get off to the start that they did. If they looked themselves in the mirror, did they actually see like a 5 or 6 seed that got off to a hot start and Steph got off to a hot start? Neither of which is true at the moment. But yeah, this makes him better. This makes him.
Oh, I think it makes him.
This makes him better. So you mentioned this with Ben the other day about having Draymond on the floor with somebody else that's not a stretch 5,
yes.
With a conventional center. And this, like, you're doubling down. So like that death lineup that they like to go to with Iggy, like now Sabonis would be going to the bench.
So I understand that, and I understand you're in high level playoff series. You may only be playing Sabonis 20 to 25 minutes in a game, but those 20 to 25 minutes could decide a game. Like that dude is good. Yeah, he is so good. And like I don't know, right? Here's what I know: the Warriors are not winning the championship right now. Wizards are not trading Bradley Beal. I don't know what other name you want to throw out. Like, who is the best player the Warriors could get that kind of fits what they do? And like Sabonis is so smart. He's such a good passer. Like put him in that system. I'm convinced it could work. And even if they don't win it this year, you could win it next year. You could win it the year after. Like I like it. That's why I do it. If
he's okay going from like 12 shots a game to like 7 shots a game, because like they don't call plays for their centers. He's going to be getting a lot of putback attempts. Then yeah, I think it's an okay fit. This is a move for the playoffs, and the Warriors like to go small in the playoffs. Was my only thought. The rebounding, I think, is a plus, especially when you're going to go up in the playoffs against like an Ayton or whatever the Lakers going to throw at you, or a Gobert, and you need to have a center that can match up better in ways that Draymond can do a lot, can't do as much as Sabonis can do on the glass.
It gives you another card to play, and it's a good card. I
agree.
But again, I don't know what they think of Kuminga. I don't know what they think of Wiseman. Okay.
An underrated part of like that dynasty team. Yes. Like the dynasty team, it's impossible to be like, yeah, they had Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. Like, yes, that's why they were great. But like an underrated part of that is that they had this rotation of centers, whether it be Zaza or JaVale McGee. Or
they had Bogut back.
Like, well, Bogut didn't play. Bogut left the team after the 73 win season.
I know, but they had him for the first championship.
So we're in agreement. We're in agreement with them. But like, they did have just like centers that were there, like get rebounds. And the only thing my only thought with Sabonis is, like you said, is he going to be okay? Which I guess if you're contending, does it matter if you're okay with it or not? But are you trading these types of assets for a guy that's not going to play important minutes in the postseason when push comes to shove? And
again, I think, the notion that he's never going to be on the floor at the end of a postseason game.
I mean, never, but not like every, which, are you willing to trade assets like that? Like that might be more of a Thad Young type of type of trade. Maybe not for the same assets, but like for a backup center, maybe that's where they go. I like the trade. I do like the trade, though. I agree with you.